In the last video, I remade the newest New York Times game, Pips, and that wasn't enough of a challenge because I was successful at making it. So in this video, I am going to set myself a harder challenge. Can I make a bot that can solve Pips? So for anyone who doesn't know what Pips is and doesn't want to watch my last video on it, it's dominoes but more complicated. The game of Pips works by trying to fill in a grid with dominoes, but there are also extra restrictions, these being number. Dots must add up to this number, equal. Dots within this region must all be the same number, not equal. Dots in this region must all be different numbers, greater than. Dots must sum to more than this number, less than. Dots must sum to less than this number. If you can fill up the grid with all of your dominoes while following all of these conditions across the grid, you win. So fill in the grid while following the rules. Now let me explain how I want the bot to work. We start by finding the first available position in the grid and place the first domino there. If this board is valid, then great, we can move on to the next position and place the next domino. But if the position is invalid, we will rotate the domino to see if that gives a valid position. If none of the rotations of the piece are valid, we do the same thing with the next domino. We keep repeating this process of finding a valid domino and rotation until we reach a space where there is no valid domino that works. When this happens, we need to backtrack to the previously placed domino and continue searching for another valid rotation or domino for that space. This combination of brute force and backtracking will lead us to a solution. So to start with, we need to make a function that finds the top position in the grid. So just started it up here, added the position finding function, and as you can see there, it's updating for when I click on the grid here. It'll start in the top left and then go down vertically and then find the first position. And also when it gets filled with dominoes, it will change. So as you can see, the output is changing for when I fill it up with dominoes. So now that that's working, I'm going to get started on the actual brute force algorithm that we're going to use. Okay, so version 1 of brute force has been completed. I'm going to test it out. It won't work with any of the rules yet, but it will just fill up the board however it can. So it just tries to place in the dominoes. So let's see. Yeah, so it fills up the board as it should do. And we can try a different board layout here and see how it does. So I'm going to fill it in kind of like this, mix it up with directions and stuff. Let's see how it does. Oh, right, that's definitely not right. I think I know what the problem is there. I think it's trying to place it like backwards and it's like looping around the grid. So I'll see if that's what the cause is. I think I've solved it. I'm just going to check here. I think it should work. Yeah, looks good now. We can move on to actually implementing the other stuff now. So now we should be able to enter in the rules and stuff. So I'm just going to give it a go, see how it works. So just creating this grid. If we make these squares here be equal, and then press enter, it should work. Okay, well, it puts the numbers in, but that's not how the dominoes are supposed to be entered. That's more debugging I've got to do. So I walked away for a bit, but I think I know how I need to fix my bugs. I've just kind of done it all a bit silly really, and I've overcomplicated it, so I'm actually just going to fix it now. Now all bugs have been fixed, so it should be working. This is like the test run. So I've gone and completed the puzzle on the left by myself, and then I've entered in all of the rules and stuff into this grid. So when I click enter, it should go and solve it. I've slowed down the algorithm a bit just so it's easier to view, and then you can see how it's working. So I'm going to click enter in 3, 2, 1. And that's the puzzle solved. So we know that the bot actually works now. It's got the same result as me. So now I want to put the bot to the test and see how it can solve today's 3 pips puzzle. That's easy, medium and hard. Okay, so starting off with easy. Let's see how quick it is. That was instant. Wow, okay, I'm going to fill it in. It takes me longer to actually drag and drop in the solution than it does for the bot to solve it. And congrats. So obviously the time there was me actually setting up the puzzle, not how long it took the bot. And now onto medium. Let's see, maybe a bit longer this time. And no, still very, very quick. So I'll drag and drop these in again, and I think the bot's right, but just to double check. And final piece, congrats. And again, so now for the last one, hard. And this one could be tough, there's quite a lot of dominoes here. Now the final challenge for the bot, can it solve the hard puzzle? I've got a feeling it might take a bit longer on this one because there are 9 dominoes and this does look difficult. And it's solved it. It did take just over a minute, but it's solved it, I think. Just still going to drag and drop just to double check, but I think the bot's right. And then also after this, I am going to run it again, but without updating the frame every time we place a domino, just to see how fast it truly is. And congrats. So a bot works. Just a quick speed test before the video ends. I'm going to click enter now. Okay, that is how quick the bot is when I'm not updating the screen every time I place down a domino. So it is rapid, but it just looks a bit silly when it just instantly places all of the dominoes. So that is today's video over and done. I have solved pips using a bot, and it works, which is unusual. But thank you all for watching this video. Please like, please subscribe, check out the other videos as well, and I will see you all later.